And welcome to the Jeff Traylor Radio Show out here at Roca and Martillo as UTSA gets set to take on Temple this weekend and open conference play. Lots to get to on the show today. Kamar Missouri is going to join us in a little bit. So will Davin Martin. Those will be our two player interviews coming up. We start things off as we normally do with Jeff Traylor. The show is presented by UT Health San Antonio, the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. Well, Jeff, the bye week is come and gone, and you had a lot of time to get some players, I guess, a little bit healthier and get some recruiting done. So give us an idea of how things have gone since we last played against Colorado State.
We practiced. We didn't land till 6:30 a.m., whatever that was. So
yeah,
I gave them Sunday off, and then Monday was Sunday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, so on. So we had two good practices. Then I got them out of there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and went back at it Monday. So a lot of tutorials, a lot of training room, a lot of Temple, and a lot of self-reflection, on our first four games and where we are.
When you self-reflect, is it like going over film or just kind of having kind of discussions with coaches and players on what you've done well and what you need to improve on?
We pretty much have three categories. We have what we're good at, what we're bad at, and then we call it the what the hell. I mean, like, what was that, right? So we're good at some stuff, we're bad at some stuff, and I'm like, what the hell was that? So those are the three categories we put them in. And what we're good at, we know they're going to try to stop. What we're bad at, we got to fix. And what the hell, we got to decide. Do we want that? We want to try that anymore.
Right. So what do you think you've done the best so far?
I think our defense has improved each game, and that's been four straight games where they've just gotten better. We're just a little more sound than we were earlier in the year. I don't think we're as talented as we have been, but I think we're good, and we play together very well. Offensively, I think we've ran the ball very well all year. We protected our quarterback. Our passing game is just barely off, and we got to get that closer. Special teams, we started off so bad. The bar was so low that we have gotten better each game, and I'd say that's where we are right now.
And what did you see from the defense in the Colorado State game? They kept you in the game when the offense was struggling and then made the one play they had to on the two-point play.
Yeah, I thought we got tired in the fourth quarter. Our third quarter offensive performance was just so poor. We kept giving the ball back to them so quickly. That was disappointing. And I thought we wore out. Whether it's altitude, whatever you want to blame it on, we didn't tackle well in the fourth quarter. But we made one play. And that was enough to win it. So that was very exciting for our kids to get to have a bye week, get back on that plane. You know how hard that trip was because you were a part of it.
Yeah, and you said, I think today or yesterday, one good play by a player on defense changes the whole attitude of the locker room and the whole demeanor going into the conference season.
Yeah, it was I bet I had 20 of my former players texting me after the game and said, a champion has the ability to play one play longer. And that's exactly what it was. We just played one play longer, and I think that was a very tough loss for them. They did not have a very good performance against Washington State the very next week. They put a lot into that game. They had a bye week, packed house. Mm-hmm. It was a great environment. They left a lot on the field, and I feel bad for Jay because I know what that's like to lose a game where you put a lot into it, don't get it done.
Nana comes back and had 3 sacks in the game, and great to see him playing so well after the 2.5 years or so that he's been in the training room rehabbing.
Yeah, I was worried when he's down on the ground, but he's fine. He's just tired. But, yeah, that's a lot on your mental to be in that training room that long by yourself. So really excited for Nana to be back up and contributing and making plays for us.
And the offensive line, they're making holes for Robert, and you want them to, I know, to continue the protection for Owen, but despite a couple of key injuries and now another one to Jalen Garth, they've been playing really well.
Yeah, Jalen is going to be a big loss for us, but DeAndre played very well, and we've got Meach out there as well, so we think both those kids they'll play well. Our O-line has been good. In the fourth, a few third down and 3s and 4s. Probably should try to throw the ball, but we've been running it so well. We kind of got trapped into that and didn't execute there. But other than that, they played really solid.
How about Meach still around? I think this is his 6th year and ready when you need him.
Him and Dan are the two that have been with me the whole time. They've been through it all from the bottom to the top to here we are. So we'll see what this one is this year. But they've been a part of all 5 bowls and a couple championships and seen the program totally change from Conference USA to AAC, and here we are.
Elliot Burrow is now your punt returner. Talk about him in that role and how well he's performed there.
We started off with David, and then he got hurt. Then we went to Davin, and he got hurt. So now we're at Elliot, and I think we might have found a role for Elliot. I think this is going to be good. Obviously, I didn't know he was going to drop the ball in the game. I didn't know he was going to field one on the 2-yard line. But that comes with experience, and I think we might have found a role for him. I'm not 100% committed yet. We'll see how, Devin's injury is. We'll see how David's injury is. But I think Bro's going to really be successful in this role.
When you have somebody that's as valuable at the wide receiver spot as McEwen and Amador are, and they're a little bit banged up, are you reluctant to put them on punt returns?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just you're reading my mind. That's where we are, and I wish I had something better to tell you on that, but it just is what it is. So we'll see.
All right, conference play starts. Last year you got behind early and had to play catch up all year long. Great opportunity coming into this game against Temple to get off on the right foot and to get one to start the conference season.
That's the only time we never got it done. And I thought we played as hard as we could have at East Carolina last year, and we just couldn't get it done. And it was so frustrating because we played so hard and had the lead and blew it. And that loss was, I think it set the tone for all of conference. We put a lot into that game, first conference game, long road trip, great crowd in Carolina.
Right.
That was very much Colorado State-like as far as the crowd and the travel and how hard we played. But we came out there with a win this year.
And the league is much better, I think. Temple's a better team, which we'll talk about more in a little bit. And you play a gauntlet of teams coming up after that are really good. So even the teams that are expected to finish with not as many wins as the rest of the league are better than they have been.
I think Tim Pernetti does a fantastic job, our commissioner, to put our floor at $10 million that you've got to spend 10 in 3 years.
Right.
So you don't have to spend it all right now. But you've got to hit the $10 million mark. I think that's pretty impressive. That goes to show you that everybody in our league is spending $3.3 million a year. Or if they don't, they're going to be out of the league. So I think that's pretty amazing. I think you can see that when you get better rosters, you get more wins and you play better football.
And you play better competition so that when you're on the bubble as to go to a bowl game or maybe CFP in the future, people see the schedule is not as weak as it may have been in the past.
Oh, it's a tough schedule. I mean, it just is. I mean, you got South Florida playing very well. You got Memphis playing very well. You got North Texas playing very well. Navy's playing very well. You just don't want – Temple has only lost to Georgia Tech and Oklahoma.
Right.
I mean, that's a top 10 team and a top 25 team. So they're really good. They're better than us in 28 of the national stats, 28-12. So they're a good football team.
All right, UTSA fans, get ready for the Ancira Punt for a Pickup. At every home game, one lucky fan will have the chance to win a brand new truck, courtesy of Ancira. Don't miss your chance. is cornerback for UTSA. Davin, welcome to the show. You guys kind of grew up a little bit in the Colorado State game. Talk about the defensive performance there and kind of the excitement to get that big win.
It was super exciting to get the win. We're flying around.
Move that mic up just a little bit there, yeah.
There you go.
We're flying around, communicating, having fun, and playing our spotty ball.
All right, you're from Houston. Talk about coming over and being a part of this defense and working with Coach Graham in the secondary.
Yeah, from Houston with the Klein Kane. Working with Coach Graham has been great. You know, he's helping me get better each game, each day. Just continue to keep stacking days and keep getting better.
You're one of the guys on that cornerback position where you're always, or a lot of times you're in man coverage and it's one-on-one. Talk about that challenge that you face every time you're out there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's challenging. You know, you got to be locked in and keyed into to your keys, and you got to go out there and win because Coach Traylor here expects you to win and, you know, make the play for the team.
All right, Jeff, tell us about Davin. And,
let's ask him a more important question.
All right.
Is Miss Ebony watching this radio show tonight?
Yes.
I know she is. Next
yes.
question, who's harder on you, Miss Ebony or Coach Graham?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. It's probably neck and neck.
He's got a mom, and she's an absolute fireball now. She wants
good.
Davin to be great, and she's always in his business, and she knows what's going on at all times.
So talk about growing up and what the influence that your mom had on your football career.
Man, she just always told me just the next play, you know, next play mentality, continue just to be tough, grind it out, and whatever happens, just trust in God and you know, have faith.
Jeff, talk about him coming to UTSA and being a part of the secondary, and we'll get his thought on this in a minute, but getting voted into a single-digit number as well.
Yeah, him and Dangerfield both came in together in the same class, and I'm very fond of both those young men. They have just kept their head down. They just work, and I told Coach Graham both these kids were going to show up this year. I just knew they were going to. Really excited for Davin to get voted into single-digit. He's just been steady. He just keeps working. He keeps winning the day, keeps stacking days on top of each other, and it doesn't surprise me. He's always been long. He's always been talented. We've really challenged him on his physicality to be more physical. There's still some improvement that needs to be done there, but he keeps showing up more and more and more. And proud of him and his buddy Dangerfield both. Jacavian Rogers and both of them came in, and they've been with me for a while now, and I'm very fond of both those young men.
What was it like when you found out you were getting a single digit?
Man, when I got that phone call with Coach Traylor, I was just smiling ear to ear and just super happy, and just all my hard work from my teammates, from me, and then the coaching staff and my teammates looking at me in that way.
What's the transition from high school to college, the speed of the game and the difference in the talent level? Talk about making that transition and how hard that is.
The speed of the game is definitely, you know, faster. The receivers are faster. They're bigger, more physical. The game is just sped up. You know, it's just super fast. But once you start playing, it gets slowed down for you.
How do you slow it down? How do you get better at making the game kind of come to you a little bit?
Just reps on reps, and just practice, stacking days. That's all it is.
The secondary is always going to be a focal point because there's so much passing that goes on. Talk about the group as a whole and how you guys have had to kind of grow up together a little bit with no starters returning.
Yeah, no, each game we're getting better, just communicating, red zone or wherever it is. We're continuing to keep getting better in practice. We're overemphasizing it, you know, yelling at each other, making sure, like, when you give a call, we look at each other and things like that. So we're getting better.
Jeff, we've seen a lot of corners come through the UTSA program in the years you've been here, and it's really fun to watch them go from not knowing a lot to knowing something pretty quickly and then getting better and better as they progress and very confident in that spot. You know, we mentioned that with Zay last year, and I think Davin's kind of in that same extension.
You know, Tariq gets all the attention and Zay because they were both drafted, but you also forget about Corey Mayfield, who was in there, had a great run. Ken Robinson had a great run there before he moved into safety. Speedy came in here, had a great run. And now it's Davin's turn. And I'm excited for him and excited to see what that turns into next year. He's long, he's athletic, and Coach Graham's got a great reputation for developing corners. And he's done pretty well those other two long, lanky corners. And we used to say they weren't very physical either, and they ended up being physical. So I got a feeling between Miss Ebony And Coach Graham, Davin going to keep getting more physical.
So when you go home in the summer, Mom's going to make sure you do what Coach Graham tells you to do. And when you're here, Coach Graham's going to remind you Mom's on your shoulder,
That's
right?
the way we play it. And Coach Traylor's in the middle just stirring all the time.
Awesome. Davin, thanks for being here tonight. Best of luck against Temple and the rest of the season. And we'll look forward to making some big plays.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Davin Martin, UTSA cornerback, one of our stars this evening. Every 2 seconds in the United States. UTSA's left tackle. Welcome, Kamar. How are things with you right now? And I'm sure you're glad that you got a win against Colorado State.
Yes, sir. Everything good. Yeah, that was a good win. That was a good win. You know, a great environment to play in, a different environment, especially with that elevation.
So how was the elevation changes and trying to breathe?
Let's just say I won't be.
You're not moving to Colorado, huh?
Soon, no.
It bothered him. It bothered him more than it did some players. He was a little disturbed about it. Like at the hotel, we were just walking around for a walkthrough. He's like, "Coach, is this bothering you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in good shape." He's like, "It's starting to bother me." So I was worried about him. I saw him on the auction. I know it some during the game. I don't know how much, but he was on the auction, right or wrong?
Yeah, about twice.
Yeah. Talk about blocking for a guy like Robert, or even for that matter, Will, because he's had some good runs too, and knowing that if you just give them a little bit, they can get a lot. How big is that?
Yeah, it's exciting, but you know, we don't bite too much and we don't bite too less. You know, we focus on one play at a time, and we know it's gonna be a little play, big play, little play, little. You know, so it's exciting. You know, I never blocked for the leading rusher in the nation. Always had, you know, I blocked for a leading conference player, but in the nation that's pretty cool.
And had to have him run four times 75, 75, 76, 74, and then a pass for 74.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's you know, I've been here for a short time, but the development that he, you know, that you see, you know, it wasn't always like that. You know, he grew a lot. You know, he matured a lot, and you know, it's just showing his game.
All right, let's talk about the offensive line as a whole. You guys have really played well this year and are healthy. That's two good things.
Yeah, so, you know, we got pretty much everybody back but one person. So the chemistry is pretty much there. You know, we a tight group. We hold each other accountable. We coachable. You know, we what the O-line's supposed to be. You know, we be quiet and work.
They are. They're good young men. I mean, they are a great group to coach. They're very prideful in their work. You can coach them hard. They don't pout. They don't sulk. They know we mean well. And I got after them hard Tuesday. Then I realized, I'm like, boy, that's the dumbest thing I've ever done. We've been off for 4 straight days, and I go straight team right when we get back, and we're not executing for anything, and I'm getting after them like crazy. Then I went to a little bit of a special teams period, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, that might have been the dumbest thing I've ever done in 21 years as a head coach. I'm getting all over them about not executing, and we've been off for 4 straight days. So I went and apologized to them and said, man, that's on me. That's terrible coaching. We got going, and we've had 2 really good days since we got off that rocky start Tuesday.
You came here last year and now this year, and you've seen this culture and how important it is to all the players, and everybody loves being here. And I know that's important when you make decisions on where you're going to play.
Yes, sir. The culture, excuse me. The culture was one of the big part of the reason why I came, and it's just showing. You know, like we made a lot of changes this off season. You know, we told each other we was all in, and that's what it been. You know, I don't know. I'm sure you can notice we was the leading penalty team last year.
Last year, yeah.
You know, just for selfish mistakes, or you know, just stuff that just wasn't supposed to happen, wasn't good football. And we made sure to really clean that up.
Let me ask you this. He's from around this area. How far are you from actually Philadelphia? How far?
Like an hour 30.
So how many people are going to be at the game for you think Saturday?
I got 30 so far. I got 30. But, you know, like, I was at Rutgers, so that was 2 hours away.
Right.
You know, I got to see my family every weekend, you know, every home game. So now I'm so far, you know, so any chance that, you know, they get to see me, they going to do it.
So tell me about life in Baltimore. How was that?
It's what you make of it. You know, every place has its own ups and downs, but you know, if you choose the right path and know what you want to do, it's going to work itself out. You know, I can't say that I was always choosing the right path, but once I realized and matured and understood this what I wanted to do, or this not the life that I really want, I made changes in it, and now I'm here.
And I know that when we talked to you before, you were very proud that you had 2 dogs.
Yeah, I got 3 now.
Them. You got 3 now.
Yeah.
Huh? Talk about them.
Yeah, I got Fredo. That's my boy.
That's the one we took to the bowl game last year.
I got Isis. That's my female, and I just got a new puppy named Luna. She a female as well.
I don't know what to even say. I can barely take care of Mickey.
Exactly.
And the one dog I got, he got 3 dogs, going to college, playing football. Yeah, really, really neat young man. Great mom and dad. Good people. He had a lot of options to go somewhere after this year, and he chose to stay here and play for us. And he's what you want all you young men to grow up and be like. I mean, Kamar, Missouri is good freaking people, man.
How'd you hear about UTSA? What was the recruiting process like when you were choosing to leave Rutgers and find a new place to play?
All right, so I honestly hit the portal to go to a certain school, and some stuff just didn't work out. So I got in my feelings a little bit, and I just stopped talking to everybody. You know, I actually thought football was over for me, but my hot coach TP that was here last year reached out to my high school coach because I wasn't responding to nobody. Like, honestly, I just wasn't. And my high school coach reached out to me talking about, and he just told me, like, I think you should give him a shot. And I got a lot of trust in Coach Nixon and the program that they had me in, to help me get to where I was. So I reached out back, and we set up the visit like real quick. And I came on a visit, and I committed on my visit. I was really looking for a place where, family oriented, and I just wanted real, like nobody that was going, lie to me or just show me a bunch of bells and whistles to get me here. Coach Traylor, Coach Kurt, they told me, like, you're going to have to work for it, and that's what I did.
So what's the future for you? I know the NFL is something you're hoping for down the road, but what else do you want to do besides that?
I want to get back to the youth, because I always tell people, like, imagine if I had a me when I was younger, like, where would I be?
A mentor.
Yes, sir. So I really want to get back to the youth, the community. I'm really big on that.
All right. Thanks as always, Kamar. Best of luck in whatever you do, and hopefully it's in the NFL someday as well. And good luck this weekend against Temple.
Thank you.
All right, that's Kamar Missouri with us out here on the program tonight. On behalf of UTSA Athletics and our official military appreciation partner, USAA, we thank all service members, veterans, and their families listening.
games as a college football coach. That's second to the head coach of LSU, Brian Kelly. You just think about how many games that is as a head coach in college football. Their offense, they're an option football team. It's not like Navy, Army, or Air Force, but they run their quarterback a lot of zone read, a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, a lot of play action pass. Defensively, the same. DC's been at Rice the last 5 years, so he knows us very well. They've got great defensive ends, really get to the quarterback. Really good punter, same punter they had last year, sprays the ball everywhere. One of the leading punt returners in the country in 17. So, really good football team. I've said this quite a bit this week. In the 40 national data stat points, you know, they're better than us at 28 of the 40. So they've got our attention.
And they have not turned the ball over, and your defense is wanting to get takeaways, so that's a challenge there.
Yeah, they haven't turned it over. It's pretty remarkable. Play 4 games against a top 10 team, top 25 team. But historically, that's kind of been the way Casey's teams are. They take care of the ball.
And Evan Simon, their quarterback, what is he like?
One of 4 quarterbacks in the country that have thrown for 10 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That's pretty remarkable. Sadly, the second one's the kid at North Texas, so we got to play 2 of them.
Back to back.
So that's not good for the Road Runners, but he's a really good athlete. Moves around, big, strong, tough kid. He's had a really good career.
Their primary running back, Jay Ducker, what does he do?
He's tough kid. I mean, he came with him from Sam Houston, just a physical kid. The 25 is a good player too, Worthy. Both those guys are really good football players. I mean, Ducker averages 6.3 yards a carry. Worthy averages, not as many, but they spread the ball out so much. They got a lot of guys that average high yards.
How about defensively? How good are they on defense, and what are some of their tendencies?
I think 25 can play for anybody in the country. I think 0 is very good. I think 55 is very good, the defensive ends. And they're a handful. Got a really good will linebacker, 30, 35. So they're just a really good football team.
We talked about this a little bit last week when you were on the radio show segment with me, and you're playing in an NFL stadium. We were there 2 years ago playing Temple. A little bit different setting. You've got the numbers a little bit closer to the hash marks, and you have the little tick marks. So talk about the discipline that you have to make sure you're in the right spot and lined up correctly.
Yeah, the NFL field, I'm texting Alex right now to make sure we go over this in the meeting again tomorrow. Sorry, I'm being rude on.
That's all right.
Yeah, their numbers they're way inside of our numbers. So the NFL number is going to be there. We'll have to put that. There'll be 2 ticks out there, little marks for us. Their hashes are way inside of ours. Our hashes are outside of theirs. So you're going to see a very marked up field.
Robert Henry's had such a remarkable season running the football. We talked about his patience. And the run they had 9 in the box, but once he got past the 9, he was gone. And the pass play, they thought he was going to give up on the sideline, and he just kept going in the Colorado State win.
Yeah, somebody told me that the stats showed he was the fastest kid in college football. I think he hit, I don't know what it was, over 22 miles an hour on that run. So, yeah, once Robert gets loose, they're going to have a hard time catching him.
All right, switch gears here with you a little bit on a couple of things. Every time that you turn on a talk show, you turn on ESPN and listen to Stephen A. Smith or the cast of characters they have there, there's always play calling Monday morning quarterbacks. Take us through, if you will, what a offensive coordinator is doing to call plays, because I always say they didn't call that play thinking it wasn't going to work. What's it like to be a play caller and know that within a split second of that play ending, you got to get another play in, and 40 seconds later, it's got to be run?
Well, it's all about how you receive your video. All that video is broken down into data. So your Tuesday and Monday plans are all your base down calls. So you study how they line up in normal down and distance. So 1st and 10, 2nd and 6. So that's what you work on basically till Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday you have 3rd down calls. So you're working on 3rd and 1 because they play a certain way. 3rd and 2 to 3. 3rd and 4 to 6, 3rd to 7 and 10, 3rd to 11 plus. And statistically, you know how many of those calls are going to be in every game. Like I was watching Will Stein's game the other night versus Oregon. They have 5 4th and shorts in the first 2 quarters. Well, no one carries more than 3 plays on 4th and short because you only have about 3 4th and shorts in a game. Will had to call 5 in the first 2 quarters. So I was literally freaking out for Will going – he probably went to his red zone sheet. I'm not sure where he went to steal some calls because you don't want to run the exact same call again. So – and then you get there, and all that you worked on for now the 3rd straight week, the defense we prepared for was different. And all that work you did, you're literally adjusting on the sideline, and you're trying to go back and match up what they're doing. And we're playing another team with a bye. So this is the 3rd team in a row that's had a bye. How much are we working on? What are they really going to do?
And then the other question, you mentioned a couple of times in the past that you script the first several plays of the game. So let's say the first play is a flanker screen to the wide receiver, but it's -2 or it's +40. Do you go to the second play, or now do you change plays based on the new situation?
Well, if it's a negative and you're back to 2nd and 12, it's just going to be what is that call, right? We would probably stay on script, and knowing you're going to have to jump off script on play 3 to get to 3rd and 6.
Right.
You're probably you're thinking it's probably a 4 to 6 yard play. So now you're going to do that and then get off script, back to 3rd and 6. And then once you get your first down, you're back on script again.
All right, we've got more with Jeff. We'll get to our plays of the game. A couple other things to finish up in the back few minutes of the show. Roadrunner fans, the excitement. every UTSA field goal and extra point counts for more than just a score. Our friends at the K-League Auto Group and North Park Subaru will make a donation to charities for every successful kick. It's K-League's Kick for the Community, brought to you by the K-League Auto Group. And SureMed Emergency Medical Service is proud to serve San Antonio with trusted professional ambulance services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they bring us our plays of the game. And we go back to the Colorado State game. I would think the two runs, the run by Robert after the catch and the 76-yard touchdown run would be the plays of the game. But that and what else stood out for you as big plays against Colorado State?
Yeah, Ty and Milton on the two-point play, to me, is the play of the game. But,
yeah.
And I don't think Owen gets enough credit. They were straight cover zero. He made a great check on that little play to Robert, and that's what got him loose. So Owen deserves a lot of credit for that. But I think Ty-Ann's play, that was a heck of a two-point stop down there.
And when they put that other quarterback in, they'd run quarterback draw all game long. You took that away from them. They had to come up with something on that option.
Yeah, I thought – and we had no more timeouts, so that was tough. And then they subbed late. They made us be on the field, which made me mad. They weren't making them get on the field. Then they ran them out there late. Thank goodness we subbed a heavy package in there.
Yeah.
And I was afraid they weren't going to let me do that. I couldn't imagine me getting a penalty, making another half a yard closer.
Right.
So I didn't know what they were going to do there, but Jay let him throw the ball, and we were there to stop the run for sure, and they had a little bit of leverage on us, but Ty-Ann just made such an explosive play back there to mess up their timing, which got us the win. All
right, you've addressed this in the media session, so we'll let you address it on the radio show as well. UCLA, Virginia Tech, and recently Arkansas and Oklahoma State's head coaching jobs became open. The success you've had here has made it allowable for your name to be mentioned as candidates for that. I know you said earlier in the week and last week your heart is in San Antonio and you want to be here for a while.
I think what's different this time is just so early. I mean, there's people getting fired. We're in September.
Yeah.
And 4 teams have already fired their coaches. So this is different for all coaches. Usually this starts picking up in November, but for us to be answering these questions in September, it's pretty simple for all of us because it's kind of like we do this every year. And I say the same thing every year. There's a reason we signed a 10-year contract. I've been married to the same woman 34 years, and I'm not interested in doing that ever again. So she's not leaving, so I'm not going anywhere for sure. So whether you want us to be here or not, you're stuck with us.
You're stuck with us, yeah. And so we'll put that to bed for now and see what happens down the road. But anytime you are successful, people are going to talk positive about you, and that's a good problem to have.
Well, like last night, my middle son, Jake, called, and he wanted to talk about it. He's like, Dad, you got to be flattered that every time a job around Texas comes open, your name gets brought up. And I said, Jake, look, I am only thinking about Temple. I don't even think about that. He's like, Dad, you're so not telling the truth. You know good and well. You know what people are saying. I'm like, no, Jake, I really don't have a clue what's being said. I am preparing for Temple. And he said, you've always just been so old and so boring. You're just never any fun. And I said, well, your mom says the same thing.
There you go. All right, let's talk about the bye weekend allowed you to go recruit. Did you get done what you wanted to with the high school games that you wanted to see?
Yeah, I got to watch Soto and Marshall play Thursday night. And then my nephews play for Bernie. And, Ron Ritterman, whose son Hunter coaches for us, is at Alamo Heights. So I went to that game. It was a barn burner. Came down to the last play of the game, 37-35. So I got to be there. My coaches were all over the country. There's going to be one transfer portal window, which is going to be a little bit better for coaches and administrators. But we got to be right. So that's going to be in January. So we're not going to have time to fix our roster. So whatever we're not right on,
yeah,
you're kind of stuck. So we got to get this right now.
Well, you and I talked last year. Ryan Day comes out and says he doesn't like it because we plan on being in the college football semifinals, and some of our guys may be in the portal while playing for us in the semifinals. But you and I talked about the season starting earlier. If the portal opens on New Year's, the day after New Year's, have the college football championship game on New Year's Day.
I'd be all for it. I think college football should be over January the 1st, and we should start August 15th.
Yeah.
We're all dying to have it. We get to practice all summer long anyway now. We don't ever not practice. The rules are now where you can practice year-round because of the transfer portal. So let's start August 15th. Let's get away with some of these buys. We don't need 2 buys. Let's all have 1 buy And I don't even care. Do away with the conference championship games. I don't even care about that. Let's just get football over with January the 1st and be like it was when we were growing up as kids.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day,
Yeah.
it's a national championship. Let's go.
Absolutely. I'm 100% behind that. All right. I know you watched some college football this weekend, and you watched some Ryder Cup. So take us through your weekend watching while you had the weekend off.
Well, since Care Bear was gone, I was king in my castle, and I got to channel surf and do all the things I wanted to. So, yeah, I started off with the Ryder Cup, and that got very depressing. So then Max Lucado, his new book, he gave it to me and wrote something very nice to me about controlling your thinking, which is a really good thing for me to be doing during this time of year. So I read a lot, watched a ton of Temple. I watched Will Stein at Oregon. I always watch Will when I can. I always watch Barry Lundy Jr. at Illinois. And I watched North Texas. I watched North Texas play South Alabama. And I watched Rice. Play, I forgot who they played now. Navy.
Navy, yeah.
So, yeah, I watched a lot of football. And then I saw we were coming back on the Ryder Cup, and they just got my interest up, and they broke my heart.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend at the Ryder Cup. All right, Lincoln Riley talked last week about TV dictating game times, and especially with the travel in the Big Ten. And we have similar travel because we were at Colorado State, which is a time zone away, and Philadelphia is another time zone away. It used to be the games were always at the same time. Now they're all over the place. We know we're going to play Rice at 6:30. Who knows when we're going to play North Texas until Monday. You could play anywhere between 11 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night. How hard is that on players and coaches in preparing for games?
Well, Andrew Acosta is our DFO, and he was a former player. And that's he's so good at what he does. He's just a very good worker, and he thinks about our players. So him and I make the schedules, but he always gives me the perspective from a player's point of view, which helps me. But yeah, all these schedules are different. Like this schedule we got this week, it's nerve-wracking. We play early, Saturday morning. We need that plane to be on time. We need everything to go smoothly, and you know how that is with traffic. In an airplane, like sometimes stuff just doesn't go right, and you got flight delays and all those kind of things. So I hope it's a smooth weekend. Hope everything goes great when we get up there and be on time and have a great conference start off of the year.
And it's pretty much an all-day trip. I mean, we're not leaving until the middle of the afternoon, but it's a 3.5-hour flight, and then you're up at early on Saturday for the game, and probably not home until around 11 or midnight.
Yeah, we talked to the players about downloading movies, right now, so we can have some movies for those guys to watch on the plane. And now Dr. Compost will be asleep by the time we pull off out of there.
I may be too.
And I'll be praying for everybody till we land, so I will not sleep at all. I can promise you.
All right, keys to the game against Temple.
Their offense, their quarterback, all the misdirection, the option game, and then as soon as we stop the run, can we tackle them? And then the play action pass. I think offensively for us, we got to get our passing game going at some point. It can't just be all Robert Henry. We've got to get that going. And then our special teams just got to keep getting better. Their punt returner is very good, 17. Can we get him on the ground? And their punter just sprays the ball everywhere. Where's the ball going to go? Can we get it fielded?
And offensively, you want to get that passing game going. Are you seeing progress in practice?
We are. Those guys have been so not healthy. They're starting to practice this week again. Got to be careful. You don't want to overdo it when you're just now getting them back. So we'll think we'll be better than we have been.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. We'll look forward to Saturday.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.
All right. UTSA Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony.